gonna make some bird ATCs. I have my hard cards here. I cut out a hard cardstock, 3.5 by 2.5 inches, and I have the Birds of Texas book I love. I bought it from the half-price bookstore for like 50 cents, and I've just turned the page to belted kingfisher. Oh, I love this bird, eastern bluebird, because it's also in Texas. There's a mountain bluebird. I love this eastern bluebird. I'm going to tear this page out. Now remember, it's a 50-cent book, so we can do that. Let's do the eastern bluebird. I think I'm going to take a little hard card here and tear out a bit of this, because it's kind of interesting. You can learn a little about the bird, right? And then, of course, we've got our image. It's real pretty in this picture, so I'm going to pick that one. I like this glue stick. Here's a catalog I'm going to use to glue on. And you don't have to worry about making this area sticky. So here's my catalog. Here's my hard card. And I'm going to start with gluing on some of the info about the bluebird right here. Like that. And picture of the bluebird as well. I think I'll put the glue on the back of this image and try to get most of it. The card ends there. That's okay. That works out good. Now, I usually use a little domino. And then right away, I cut off the excess to see what I have. A little surprise awaits. Oh, I like it, I like it, I like it. And then I think is there room for a stamp? Sometimes there is, sometimes there isn't. And sometimes you're not into stamping. So that's okay too. As you're doing these, you can read about the bird. That makes it super fun. I know the bluebird is a songbird. So I'm going to put maybe a little music here, up here. I love to use archival inks because I know they're permanent, waterproof, and they're dye inks. And dye inks are important to use on your stamps because they keep that nice crisp detail that you want on it. And they also don't ruin your stamps because they're dye ink. You can wash it off with your stamp cleaner. There, love that. Why not? And oh, I always loved my wonderful little postage cancellation. Put the little cancellation right there. And anytime I use stamps, I just put them to the side on my little white canvas. I try to keep my area pretty neat because it just makes it more fun when things are not cuckoo cray cray. Art is a good discover. And let's use black again. And put the word discover. See, that's a magazine. It's very glossy, and so you might get that, but it doesn't bother me as long as it dries well. You can dry it with a hair dryer as well. I'm going to put the word art, and I think I might do it in red because the bird is already blue. So there's art, and cut it off a little bit. There we go. And that is an ATC of an eastern hummingbird. And you could read the page and learn all about the bird as you're doing the card. And I think I'm going to go ahead and hit that with the hair dryer so I know it's dry. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back with my little dried Discover. And this is one of many stamped ATCs that you could make with a little bird field guide. And if you want to, at the end of your stamping, you can rub a little blue ink around the edge. All right, so there's one. I'm going to flip over the back like I always do and put my little artist trading card stamp that I bought on the back. The way to do a bigger stamp like this is to put it down and ink it this way. You know it's going to be inked very well. And another tip I like to show you, really like using a mouse pad for stamping. And you know, you can get these really inexpensive at the dollar store because it's soft enough to absorb the stamp details a little and make the stamping a little cleaner. So let's go ahead and stamp this. I stand up straight, line it up pretty well. I'm not a perfectionist, I don't care if it's crooked. And there we have an ATC. Just a little piece of art. That's all it's about, is a little piece of art. And you can go through and pick out all your favorite birds and do a whole set of bird ATCs using bird stamps, or handwrite things, or type them on word processor and cut them out, whatever you want. And some of your other favorite stamps that are not necessarily bird related, like those. And then just stamp your back and fill it out, and you have that ready to go.